Good morning from Red Robin Farm. This is Mary Catherine, and today I'm going to try to show you how to make Christmas crackers. I've never popped a Christmas cracker myself, but I've made a box full of them to take to Christmas with family this year. So I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to try to put my camera, oh dear, am I going to be able to do this? Let me see. Try to put my camera here so that it will look at what I'm doing. Now, the first thing I want to show you is how to make one of the crowns. You have to have a paper crown. A Christmas cracker, as I understand it, should probably have 4 things inside, ideally, I guess. It should have a paper crown that the person will wear on their head during Christmas dinner, I think. That's what they do in the movies. And it should have a piece of candy, I like chocolate, and it should have a toy, and it should have a really stupid joke. So those are your 4 things. Okay, now I have a long piece of tissue paper, just fine tissue paper, and you're going to fold it up kind of accordion style, like this. Okay, so folding it up back and forth as you go along.
Are you closing this out?
I'm doing a video right now, honey. I'm doing the video right now. So you fold it up accordion style. And we're going to make little points on the top of the crown. Now I like to leave the folded edge on the bottom to kind of give it a better solid base. So here you have your folded paper, and you go like this, and you cut off on one side, snip. And you do on the other side, and you go snip. And then you throw your paper away, because if you don't, you'll end up with a really messier desk than I already have. And believe me, this place is pretty messy. So here's your crown like that. Now, I did kind of measure around my head. But, you know, you're not going for, this is the nice thing about Christmas crackers. You're not going for anything that has to last, or it has to be a perfect fit, or anything like that. And so then I'm going to get myself a couple pieces of tape. Now, I have been using glue to make these crackers. I think for this video, I'm going to use more tape because it will go faster. So you tape on one side. I did overlap it some. Okay, so there is your paper crown. So we're going to put that to the side. I also have a nice piece of that Linder chocolate, just one. And the toy I've picked for this one is a little race car. This is like 94 cents at Walmart. Oh, to show you some of the other things I found. I was worried about finding the toys small enough for a cracker. I found these poppers. I found these. These are little Batman stamps. And we have some family members that are teachers, and I thought, oh, how fun it would be for them to be able to use those on their teaching papers when they grade. I found this thing. They were on sale down from $3.50 to 75 cents. You make them into rings. You can do all kinds of silliness with them. Anyway, put them around. I don't know what you can do. And it looks fun. And here is a sticky frog that you can throw at people. And then here is a little flyer with a rubber band. That might be an outside thing. Although with our family, we would do any of this stuff inside. We're a little... sometimes at dinners we're a little raucous, which is fun. Not very raucous. Okay, so now we've got those 3 things, and here is the joke in this particular cracker. Why did the chicken cross the baseball field? Because the referee called a foul. Okay, that's one of those eye-rolling jokes. All right. Now, where did that piece of paper go that I was going to use? Oh, here it is. Okay. So I have a lot of scrapbook paper because I use it to wrap it's the packaging for the soaps that I make and sell. So I have books of this stuff. And I'm hoping that it's about the right thickness for making a cracker. We will hope. Okay. So I just cut the top off that it's a little perforated top that had a hole in it. I don't want that. So the piece of paper that's left is 12 by 12. All right, and the first thing I'm going to do is fold it in half. It doesn't really matter which way, but I like the lines to go the length of the cracker. So I fold it in half, and then I fold it in half again like that. Okay, and what I discovered was that 12 inches wide was too wide for a cracker. It just makes it really big and bulky. So I'm going to cut off this 1/4 of its width. I'm not cutting its length because it's fun to have a long cracker. It gives you something to hold on to. And I'll keep this piece of paper. I'm kind of stupid that way. I keep all kinds of paper. All right. And now we're going to continue folding it. Oh, you can see that. Good. Okay, I hope this video will last long enough. And then I'm going to fold each one of those halfway. And again, this is not, you don't have to make it precise, okay, because you're going to yank it apart and throw it away. The outside anyway. It's just really there. This is just packaging. You're making your own quirky little packaging. All right. So now what you've got is you've got a piece of paper that's long, 12 inches long, and then it has about 6 panels. Okay? And you want these to be nice and well folded, because in the end it's going to be like that. It's going to be this tube. Okay? Now, the next thing I do, this folding is the most complicated part, just to let you know. Then I lay it with the right side up. And really, all I'm trying to get is just a mark in the middle. You don't have to fold it very firmly. Okay? And so there's my mark in the middle. And then I fold the bottom edge up like that. And I fold the top edge down like that. Now, these folds are important. You want them to be nice and well creased. So sometimes I do a little bit of that business. See, I'm not going to do this as fancy as some YouTubers. I'm also not going to do it as junky as others. It's kind of in between. So now, oops, I think I did that wrong. I want it like this. Yes, I want it like this. Okay, you didn't see that little mistake. Okay, see, there we go. So it looks a little bit like a book. Okay, so these two folds are important. And what I'm going to do now, to open it up, I'm going to grab one of those folds, stick my finger under, and just kind of fold it. I'm not going to measure it. It's not that important. The amount you have it under is just about a finger width. Okay, so I do it like that, and then I do it like that. Okay, now what you end up with is this little accordion thing, like that. Okay, I'll do the other end too. Okay, so here's this little fold. And I'm just going to kind of bloop. And then I'm going to... I used to take out a ruler and measure this stuff. Oh my goodness. I watched a video where the woman was measuring this to within 1/8 of an inch. I was like, really? You're going to rip it apart at the table. Why would you bother? So now you have this. Okay, so you've got your cracker, which is going to kind of fold into a tube like this. But it's also got these little accordion spots right here, okay? And now you're going to turn it to its white side, not right side. And you're going to find that crease there with the additional fold on either side of it, the middle one of the three. And you're going to do this. You're going to weaken that crease is what you're doing. You're going to weaken it so that when, on either side, so that when the two people are pulling this cracker in competition to see who gets the prizes inside, one of them will tear along this crease. So you're just adding a good... Now I think, honestly, as I tend to do, I overkill. And I think I've made some of these too weak. So it won't take much to yank them apart. But that's okay. I'd rather have them too weak than have people not be able to rip it. Okay, so you end up with something like that. Now, I've seen people use stamp presses to put these holes along here. I've seen people measure them and all kinds of stuff, but I really think this works just fine. But again, have I ever pulled a cracker with somebody? No. My crackers might be terrible. But I will say I've had fun making them, because as I make them, I think about our Christmas dinner. I think about my children. I think about what kind of toys they would have fun with. Now, I don't have to tell you, my children are all like 19 years and older. Most of them married. So, yeah, that does make a difference. If you had small children, you would pick toys that they would like. Although you see the toys I picked are kind of for small children. That may tell you something about our family. And to be honest, these little notches I'm cutting, this is, I think, the most tedious part. And of course, they flip up into your sweater sleeve. And then you throw those away because you're trying not to be too messy. Okay, So now you've got this. Now, let me show you what my husband bought. He bought Christmas crackers. He bought, I think he said there's 144 in this box, and they look like this. Okay, I'll just pull out one. These will last me for the rest of my life. They're 12 inches long, and they have this little thing in the middle, and I'm assuming there's a little teeny bit of like firework, explosive, whatever kind of thing in there that just makes a little pop. And what it does is it makes it so that when you pull the cracker, it will make a popping sound. And I kind of think that's important for the fun of it. So that's why he ordered those online. Now we have them for the rest of our life. So you want, as I understand it, you want the snap. This is called a snap. I think I called it a cracker. This is the snap in the cracker. You want it to be attached to the cracker on either end. I do think probably it must be important when each person grabs his end or her end of the cracker to make sure you grab the snap. Okay. Now it does, see, this is where I was going to tape instead of glue, I think. I think I'll just do that because I don't want to make you wait. Usually I would glue that like I just did and wait on it, but I don't want to make the video wait. So I'm just going to do this. This one will be doubly secure. Usually I also glue this, but I think this time I'll just tape it. I'm going to overlap these two segments of the cracker, and then I'll tape that as well. That works perfectly well with glue as well. That's how I've done it before. I found this scrapbooking paper at Walmart on sale. I think they might have it on, when they just get too much of it, because there's a lot of scrapbookers, they put it on sale. This is a little bit cumbersome to, there. Okay, so now I've got my tube, and I've got my snap inside, and I've got my little weak spots. And people who do this well, they really make the accordion part work well because their holes are smaller and it kind of looks like that. And that's really, that's a fun look. That's the look you want for the cracker, is that accordion section. Mine don't work that well, and some of them end up looking like the last one I made, which looks like this. Okay, and you can see some of these are too weak and they've already torn. So the person who does this cracker, this person on this end is clearly going to lose because their paper is going to rip in like a half of a blink of an eye, and this person will probably get the contents. And mine are not closed up very well, so you see the little Batman stamp looks like it's about to fall out. So all that to say, if you make yours, do a better job than me. Okay. So now we've got our paper crown, our joke, our toy, our candy. This time I'm going to roll all of this up inside the paper crown and slip it in there. I have seen people put their stuff inside of the little prizes inside of toilet paper tubes and stick the toilet paper tube inside, and I think that would probably work just fine too. I'm hoping that my paper crown will do a good job. I'm trying not to be too fancy and overkill on this because I don't want to freak my family out like, oh, it's the beautiful Christmas crackers, you can't mess with them. You know, I want it to be fun. So, okay. So then, is this showing? Yeah. Then you tighten. See, this ribbon does better because it's softer. I used a whole lot of this, is this rickrack or brick-brack or whatever it is. I had some of this very old, and so I used it, but it's sharper and tended to rip the paper. So I do think ribbon like this is better. See how I can pull that tighter and it didn't tear any of the paper. And honestly, if you're like me and you're a crafter and you save everything that might ever be useful when you do a craft project, you probably have all kinds of old ribbons sitting around from when your little girls were young. And oh, see, look how pretty that one's doing. That's looking really nice. Okay, now some people put stickers on the outside, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, but that's a pretty decent Christmas cracker, I must say, except for the tape, which I'm not wild about. Again, it's still pretty open there, though. I think most people would try to cinch that up a little tighter. We're going to hope that stuff doesn't fall out. That would be disastrous. So I think I've made 8 or 9 now. There's only 7 of us for dinner. I want to have plenty so people can do more than one. That is, I think that's my Christmas, oh, sorry about my hand. That's my Christmas cracker video. There they are. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.